Oh, hello. Just a quick video today about the upcoming Kill Team Critical Strike tournament on the 19th of June at Warhammer World. So myself and Mrs. Tabletop Impulse will be heading up to Nottingham for this one. And if you follow the channel, then you know that I really love these events. Playing Kill Team Warhammer World is brilliant for so many reasons. Loads of staff that are being paid hourly to be there. You know, there's all the amazing, well-painted Games Workshop terrain that they obviously just get for free from the factory, and there's loads of the stuff. There's food included. There's like a proper sit-down meal at the staff canteen, which is great. And they have these really cool, I've yet to win one, but they have really cool kind of trophies. The winners' trophies are these sculpted hands holding a chainsaw thing, which again, it's cool that they're Games Workshop and it's their IP, and they make models so they can make trophies. £35 for 3 games is a bit steep. Lunch is included, but I'm going to have a little chat about that a bit later on in the video. The first time they ran an event, it was on a Saturday, and they did 4 rounds, and since then they've kind of capped themselves at 3 rounds a day. And I can only assume it's because they got some feedback, because they ask for feedback on like a Google form or a Microsoft form after every event. And I can only imagine they got some feedback that said, you know, oh, how professional a notification sound. No, I can only imagine they got some feedback that said, oh, 4 games is a bit too much. I'd like to drop down to 3 games. You know, I think they could fit in a 4th game. Talk a little more about that when we look at the schedule. It's already sold out. Now, they don't sell out as quickly as sometimes new releases can sell out on the Games Workshop website, but if you want to get tickets to these events, you really need to be getting them within the first 15 to 20 minutes of the event going live. They do post a Warhammer community article that says, you know, these are all our events and this is the time the tickets are going up. And yet, Zimbad would really like to come. He hasn't got a ticket, he's on the waiting list. The Mighty Ibex, that's another guy that's in my Discord that we met up with at the team event, would have really liked to come along with his friends. They didn't make it, they didn't get the ticket. I assume they're on the waiting list. It's a shame, and I think they've expanded. I don't think it's the COVID limitation, I think they've expanded. I think it will be 60 players. They could put even more people in that hall. They could have double the number of players and double up the number of tables, because right now you get one kill team board on a sort of 40k size table, so you've got oceans of space around you for all of your bits and pieces. Then again, I really like that. You know what I mean? I really like that about the event that we're not crammed in, but I do feel for the people that couldn't get a ticket. I do wish that all my friends could go. I wish we could talk about it on the channel, and then people would go, oh, that sounds really cool, and they could decide to come, rather than making the video having to go, I'm going to this really cool thing, you're not. But there is, if you go to Eventbrite, you find the Eventbrite page, there is a waiting list you can join. If you click buy tickets, there's a link to join the waiting list. Good luck with that. I think the very generous returns policy does have something to do with it, right? Because the tickets sell out really quickly, but you can get a refund as long as you cancel at least 7 days in advance. So I assume a lot of people who they aren't quite sure if they can get childcare, or they aren't quite sure if they can get up there, or they aren't quite sure whether they're doing anything that weekend, but if they would quite like to go, they'll buy the tickets as soon as they go up, and then they've then got plenty of time to sit and think about it, and if they have to return them, they've lost nothing from it, which is why it's worth joining that waiting list and being there, able to pay in the money the week before. But then, of course, you sat a week before having paid, thinking, well, you know, certainly from our point of view, we'll be staying in the Nottingham Riverside Travel Lodge on the Saturday night, going to the event on Sunday, and then driving back to Essex. So if you're wanting to get a hotel room and you've only got a week's notice, the prices, if the rooms are available, the prices in hotels always go up the closer in you are, especially in the summer. So it's not ideal, is it? So my heart goes out to those people that really wanted to go and couldn't get tickets. We're going to go through the event pack. We're going to go through it really quickly because I have been through an event pack already on the channel for the Teams event. And I'm really just going to talk about the things that have changed or that I think are interesting. If you want me to go through the event pack in detail and listen to my thoughts on absolutely everything, then you can go and have a look at that video about the Kill Team Operations Team event. Obviously there are changes because this is a traditional tournament, every man for himself, team of one, that kind of thing, and there are only 3 rounds. Now, I'll mention it later. So 19th of June, 3-round game, three rounds tournament. Construction and painting is all the same. They have added this little line, this little threat. If you do not obtain, so they're talking about converted or scratch built models, you have to seek permission from Warhammer World events if you've got converted or scratch built models, which someone nearly always does. Every time I've been to one of these, there's been an awesome thematic in-universe, like fully converted team. You have to obtain permission at least 2 weeks before the event. If you do not obtain permission before this date, you run the risk of them being removed from play or possibly incurring score penalties. I wonder if they've had a thing at a recent tournament where people have brought lovely conversions, they haven't sought permission, somebody's kind of complained that they find the conversions difficult to follow, and they haven't really felt empowered to do anything about it, so now they've put this line in there just to make it so that they really are serious. And I'm giving the benefit of the doubt there. I hope it is because they care about the other player reading the kill team and understand what's going on. I hope it's not kind of, oh, well, we want you to buy the most expensive models that we sell and not to buy these slightly cheaper older models and use them or whatever it is. I am giving them the benefit of the doubt that it's about tournament legibility to your opponent, right? But in any event, they've reserved themselves now this power that they risk removing your converted model from the table or giving you a score penalty, which would suck. So if you are going to a Warhammer World event and you have a fully converted or even just a good conversion in your team, I would email them. The tournament format hasn't really changed. Obviously, it's a normal tournament. You can read all the things on the screen there. What I wanted to talk about was the event schedule. So, arrive at 9 o'clock, there's an hour for registration and realistically ordering breakfast, and then a 15-minute event briefing, and then we've got an hour and 45 for a round, and then we've got an hour for lunch, and then we've got another hour 45 for a round, and then we've got half an hour's break, and then we've got an hour 45 for a round, half an hour's break, half an hour for the awards, and they close at 6. I totally get that they have to close at 6 because it's a Sunday, and they've decided to put it on Sunday probably for some marketing reason, the fact that there's not that many other people just generically want to use the gaming hall on a Sunday or something else. But why are we having a half an hour break after round 3 before the awards? They've never had to put that in before. I know it takes them a little bit of time to compute the final awards, but everyone's just be waiting around waiting to go home at that point, right? Everyone's just going to be sort of half an hour going, I don't need a break because I'm not kind of trying to psych myself up for the next round. It would just be nice if they could find a way to get in. I suppose it isn't possible to get the 4th round in and be a Sunday and close at 6 o'clock on the Sunday, which is what they want to do, and so it seems like a weird thing to complain about, but I can just see round 3, you know, especially if you're finished after like an hour and a half or an hour and 15, and then you're going to be sitting there till 5:30 going, well, I want to find out if I won, because yeah, you'd know if you'd won, like if you're in contention for one of the top 3 awards, but you're still hanging around because you're waiting to find out who won most sporting and who won best painted and all this stuff, so there's a lot of kind of idle time there, which is slightly frustrating because it would be great to have 4 rounds. Because I worry that you could go, you could get an easy draw in your first round, and then you could win all 3 of your games and end up winning all 3 of your games with a really strong schedule, having never played. You know, there could be some really good players there, like that guy played in the last round of the team event. And you could go through, you could potentially win all of your games and just never encounter. I'm not talking about me, I'm not going to win all of my games, but one hypothetical person could, in theory, go and win all of their games and then just not encounter the best player. The best players could go and just draw 3 not as great players like me, and feel like they haven't really had the. Surely, if you are at the top of your game, if you play, I think the chap I played against that last round told me he played twice a week in London. If you're playing Kill Team twice a week, and you're really honing your skills, and you're playing a very high level, surely you go to an event and you want to feel like you've played against other people at that very high level and really, honed, had a hard fought time to get to the top. You don't necessarily want to go and play 2 games against people that you've beaten quite easily in about 25 minutes, which can happen. And then, there is Swiss and it will kick in and it will try and match you into the right place, but I just think with 3 rounds it's not going to have time to filter properly, is it? Those are just my feelings. And I think the answer is to run it later and run it on a Saturday, but they don't want to do that again for whatever reason, but I would prefer 4 rounds. Event awards are exactly the same, so they always do it most sporting. They always do 2 painting contests. They do like the voting one and the judge's choice one. It's challenging, isn't it? Because I'm probably going to go with my novitiates again. Because I want to get back in. I'm going to paint the Plague Marines and play a few more games with the Plague Marines, and Plague Marines are fun. And maybe if something funny comes out, like a White Dwarf list for Plague Marines between now and June, then I'll go with them. But right now the plan is to go back with the novitiates, having already gone with them and entered them into painting competitions, and had people say to me, "Oh, your guys are really well painted," but having gone and not won, I feel like, do I want to play something else so that I can have something else that's differently painted and therefore have another chance at winning the. It's like keep continuing to enter the same models over and over and not winning is kind of like, well, I don't know. Would you go with the same team again to an event, or do you think I should rotate to a different team just as a matter of? You don't see many people that just always turn up with the same thing over and over again. Actually, now I think about it, but it's what I'm planning to do. I don't know. There's also a favourite opponent, so if you're voted, again, it's a bit of a popularity contest, but yeah. Board layouts. I put a box on this because it's. I don't think it's actually different in practice, but it is differently worded from what used to be in the tournament pack. So it says, each board may have a different aesthetic or theme. Every board will be preset for a particular mission. So I imagine they're using the booklet, or a version of the booklet that they used for the team event, where you've got all the maps and all the missions and it's preset. Identifying the maps clearly shows rain layout. If the boards are significantly different, please contact a member of the events team. The pairings will use unranked tables in BCP, so there will be no, I'm in round 2 and I'm up on table 1 and that means I am one of the best ranked players in the event. So you won't have that. You won't know, I'm on table 1, he's on table 2, she's on table 3. That won't be how it works. You'll just be on a randomly numbered table, so that I guess that the people who are consistently on table 1 aren't always consistently playing, dominate on a Chalnath board or whatever it is. People get 3 different games. There's a chance you could play on the same set of boards more than once, which I think is a typo from the team event, because we're not playing on sets of boards, we're playing on single boards. But there we go. And then it says we provide the players with a varied experience like the event, as opposed to 6 rounds spent playing on exactly the same format. Again, you've copied and pasted that, lads, from the teams event, because we're not playing 6 rounds, we're playing 3. And you want to ensure the placement orientation of each terrain piece is balanced for a wide variety of kill teams. That's fine as well. So I don't think we'll properly know what they're doing with boards until much later when they email out the board layouts. And if they're different, I'll go through them again. Yeah, so the main takeaway there is there's not going to be, when I do the report for the tournament, there's not going to be I'm on table 1 and Mrs. Diaz on table 17. It won't be relevant. Okay. And then this stuff hasn't changed. It's all the same as it always was. Players code, policies, health and safety. Don't wash your hands. We'll follow the rules for COVID guidance, whatever the government says, which is unlikely to be anything by June, I would imagine, unless things massively reverse course in the UK. Yeah. That's all fine. Final thoughts then. So, again, regardless of anything else, the game's going to be enormous fun. I'm determined that it's going to be enormous fun. I'm not going to get all sulky about it and be like, oh, I didn't win any games last time, and I'm not going to win any games this time. I'm not that person. I'm not going to become that person. That would be awful. Please do give me a comment if you're going to be at this event. And it is a real shame that there are people I know that really wanted to go that couldn't get tickets. The next time they put an event up, I will try and put up like a YouTube short or something to remind people and say, oh, go and buy your tickets now. Go and buy them now. Or they're going to go on sale, you know, next Thursday at 10 o'clock or whatever it is. Make sure you're there to get the tickets. Because they will sell out within 15-20 minutes of going live at that 10 a.m. time. Or I think it was something in the evening last time, actually. It wasn't 10 a.m. It was like 5 p.m, 7 p.m, something like that. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoy, then press like and subscribe and all those stuff. Please leave me a comment. I love reading comments. Please do leave me a comment. There's a link to a Discord server in the description. If you're going to buy stuff, Element Games, Noble Knight Games in the US, this all helps me out as well. Alright, thanks everyone, and I hope you have a great day, whatever it is that you are doing this fine day. Cheerio.